You're watching Global Trade This Week with Pete Mento and Doug Draper.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a international version, I suppose, of Global Trade This Week. Not that they're not always focused on international. I'm Pete Mento, coming to you recorded from beautiful Dublin, Ireland. And with me, as always, is the best co-host a guy could ever ask for, Doug Draper. Doug, how are you, buddy? Are you in Colorado?
I am in Colorado, heading off. It's, Ireland and California, especially Fresno, not exactly the same, but that's where I'm heading this afternoon.
I would swap with you in a heartbeat, buddy.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. Yeah. Hey, quick story. This is one of those hashtags mountain living. So I got the windows open at night because it's nice and cool up here in Steamboat. About 4 o'clock, here's some rummaging around. Our neighbor is moving, so they got a big roll-off dumpster. And couldn't quite see what was going on. A lot of rummaging, let's just say. So I got up this morning. It was a freaking battlefield of trash between my neighbor's house and my house, and a whole lot of bear scat. So we had a bear invasion. I guess the neighbor kids had thrown a bunch of trash in there that had food and stuff in it. So they're starting to forage to get ready for the winter. So I woke up, trash everywhere. We were probably out there for 20 minutes cleaning up bear scat and just crap everywhere in our lawn. So there you go. That's the problem. One of the many problems of living up here in the mountains, Pete.
Doug, your wildlife adventures have been pretty awesome this year between the moose and the bear. I'm waiting for like an angry eagle to descend on you as you're walking out to your car.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as crazy, I have probably seen, I'm not even kidding around. Now, I'm sure it's the same moose in some instances, probably 20 moose sightings this summer. And it's not even like, Jesus, get out of the way. I got my day to take care of. Oh, but anyway,
You're no longer in awe? You're not like in awe of those creatures when you see them?
No, I'd pull over every time and take a picture or a video and send it to my kids. They're not interested anymore.
You can send them to Keaton and I because we are interested.
Yes. So good deal.
All right, bud, kick us off.
Yeah, I know you got long travels and you got your meetings coming up there. So I wanted my first take is we're always glass half empty, right? We're those guys, we're those Muppets on the balcony just chirping at every little thing that goes on. So I wanted to bring some fun statistics in and talk on a glass half full type of thing with how fun statistics about how the economy is rolling, right? And a lot of these are from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Brewers Association, and guns.com. Didn't even know there was a website called guns.com, but there is one. So there's all these fun trends, like what's the trucking industry doing? That's a precursor to what does the economy look like? So I saw an article about that today, and I was like, I'm going to kind of dive into this a little bit differently. So here's some negative signals of downturns, right? Fast casual dining is decreasing a little bit, but hardcore fast food like McDonald's, Burger King is ticking up. So fast casual, Chipotle, Sweet Greens, Mediterranean, you get the fast casual. So that's slightly down, but the hardcore is slightly up, right? Corrugated and boxing companies like International Paper, PCA, Georgia Pacific, that is down. You may have seen some articles about how some box plants are being either shut down or tapered back, and there's cost savings going on in that industry. And this one, I double checked this one, Pete. Gun sales, when they go down, is a negative reflection of the economy, which I would have thought that if the economy is going down, you're kind of pulling back in. You got to get your gun because you want to be safe, and who knows what's going on out there, right? So anyway, the statistics, so those are negative, which means downward trend. It means are we going to have economic problems? The upward trend is that even though we're still eating out, right? 5.6% year over year of folks eating out. Now, maybe the hardcore fast food, but we're still going out, right? We're paying more to go out, right? So that it's to go out to have a meal is more expensive, but we're still going out to have the meals. Craft beer sales are back up to some
Hmm.
degree. I'm sure there's every statistic that you could come up with that says they're down, they're up, they're down. That one came from Brewers Association. Craft beers are up. Usually it's PBR and Miller High Life when things get tough. Um, Egg prices and overall spending in grocery stores are egg prices are up. General goods in grocery stores are up, but we're still buying food. We're still going out. We're still buying eggs. So if you, Pete, I was trying to think if you put a plus one or a negative one on all of those different metrics, it's a plus two, right? So if you look at those, Doug Draper's stupid analogy of uh, 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 comparisons out there, I think we're going to be okay in this fourth quarter, and the world is not imploding. There's no Humpty Dumpty going on. So those are the fun metrics I have as far as what's happening out there as far as trends with the U.S. economy.
Doug, you sound like an economist right now.
That was pathetic. As I finished up that
No,
take, Pete, I'm
no,
like, I'm not communicating what I'm trying to say very clearly.
no.
So I don't know about an economist, but there's some kid
Here's
from
the thing.
Kansas tossing stats.
You might be familiar with a term called the CPI, which is the Consumer Product Index,
Yeah,
and it's how we
yeah.
determine things like inflation. And some of them are kind of outdated, honestly. And you should do the Doug Draper CPI, and it should be based on things like gun sales and craft beers and fast food, because you know what, it might be just as good an indication. I saw a interview this week with the CEO of McDonald's, and he said that one of the things that they watch really closely is breakfast sales,
Hmm.
the number of people that come in and have McDonald's breakfast. And he said there's a couple of reasons for that. A lot of folks don't have the time or the money to make breakfast every morning. So they hit McDonald's on the way to work, grab something quick and eat. He said they're way, way, way down. And they think that that's an indication of, people that are in that income bracket are skipping breakfast. It's not like they're going someplace else. They're skipping breakfast because they don't have the money to have that 3 meals a day, even if one of them was fast food. And he said they're actually really concerned with it. So, Doug, you might want to poo-poo what you just said, but if you put together an index and we followed it for 10 years, I would love to see how, maybe I'll do that. Maybe you can send me all those and I'll do an index for you over 10 years. And we'll see how those types of different prices are actually a reflection on the overall economy. You know what?
Yeah.
Who says the Department of Treasury and Department of Commerce have the magic? I think Doug Draper's CPI might be a little better.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll chat GPT that. They'll come up with some wicked graph that we can share to our audience.
Chat GPT, because thinking is overrated. I got to tell
That's
you, man.
right. That's right. All right, brother. What you got for your first one?
So everyone's a buzz. Like this last weekend, the Powerball was up to $1.8 billion or something. I guess two people won it. I can't imagine having that much money. I would do some really dumb things. I would absolutely ruin my life. But there was this feeling of hope. So did you buy any tickets, Doug?
Of course I did. I bought two.
Yeah. Yeah. So I bought a couple. Yeah. Yeah. One's as good as two, right? So I remember talking to my daughter this weekend and saying to her, if I won that much money, here's all the things that I would do. And it's this very hopeful sense of the things that you would do with this money. Well, American importers are having their similar Powerball moment right now, because we're going to find out if the Supreme Court is going to take a look at the IEEPA tariffs and decide whether or not they were legal. Now, they may not hear the case, which would be wonderful. They may hear the case and agree with the lower courts, which would be wonderful, from the perspective of people that pay tariffs. But they may say, nah, we disagree with the lower courts. They're staying in place. In either case, we're going to find out soon-ish if we're all winners or losers. And a lot of my questions right now are, you can only imagine, right? What are importers going to say? We've got to give a refund to customers. Are they going to take that money and put it back in the bank? They're doing a lot of what ifs in their head right now. But the other question is how will the refunds happen? Are there going to have to be individual court cases, which would be wonderful if you're a trade attorney? They would be real busy getting that money back. Will it be something that customs house brokers do through protests? I don't know. But we're waiting to hear that. And my phone is just buzzing off the hook with people saying, how do I prepare? How do I take best advantage of this? Do I push out my liquidation so I have more money to go after? We really don't know. We don't know, and we won't know until this is settled. But man, people are having Powerball dreams about that money right now, Doug.
Yeah, yeah. I had not even thought about that. This topic that you came up with. It's interesting. The quick hit that I did is, and this may change because this is an unusual situation, right? But I think there's 6 months, right? There's a timeline that you can go back and say, I want my refund. It's not, I think it's 5 years you could be penalized, but it's only 6 months to get your money back, right? And then the other piece I was thinking is if this truly happens and it's a lottery moment, some of that money has already been spent, right? So are they going to have to borrow money to refund companies on all these tariffs? Because it's not 1 or 2% as we've seen, especially out of the gate. It's big time money. So it'll be interesting to see if this does happen. Which is one of the opposite things that we wanted. That part of the tariff situation and have tariffs cover the economy, but are we going to have to borrow money to pay back companies for the tariff? Those are the two things that popped in my mind.
I don't imagine they'll borrow money. They might, but you're talking about damn near $30 billion, Doug. And that's a lot of money that the government's going to have to cough up. I may have to take a few days off for dancing reverie and excitement at the thought of the American government having to give people back that much money. I would be overwhelmed with joy, Doug, because of my distaste and hatred for taxation. I've said it before. My disdain for the state is infinite, and to see them have to eat crow like this, I don't know what I would do with myself. I don't know how I would deal with that level of joy. You know how dogs get the zoomies, Doug?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could shave my beard. Dogs just like run around the house because they're so happy for no reason. I might get the zoomies. I might just start running around my apartment. I'll be so excited if that happens.
Yeah.
Not because I paid any tariffs. I'd just be so happy we got to stick it to the government.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what happens to this?
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, I cannot stand this much longer. It's driving me. Never make an agreement like that without truly thinking it through, Doug.
Yeah. Well, the Supreme Court could dictate whether you have a beard or not. I kind of like that.
It's true. That's true. That's an excellent point, Doug. Yeah. Yeah, it's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and bring us to your favorite part, buddy.
All right, halftime. Thank you very much. Brought to us by Cap Logistics. Go check them out, caplogistics.com. We wouldn't be here without them. We really appreciate their support week in and week out. So, I don't know, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, ours are actually pretty similar, so this will be good.
This will be good. So we did, in or out, this or that a few weeks ago, and that seemed to be a fun one for everybody. So we're going to do, again, 5 questions that have nothing to do with trade. Okay. So it is currently September, and that means that everyone in America has gone gaga for pumpkin spice everything. Pumpkin spice lattes, donuts. Doug, are you in or out on pumpkin spice? You're out. You're out. I agree. I think pumpkin spice is a war crime. I don't understand it. I'm completely out on pumpkin spice. Next, what is your go-to ice cream order, Doug? Like if you're going to go to the ice cream stand with your family, what is your go-to ice cream order?
That would be mint chocolate chip.
Do you do cone, sprinkles?
No, mint chocolate chip on a sugar cone.
Okay. We don't do sprinkles.
No sprinkles. Nope. No.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. That is one of my favorites as well. Lately, though, if I go, I'm a coffee with chocolate chip guy. Also on a sugar cone. I'm a big fan. Okay.
Yeah.
Sporting matches, Doug. The NFL season started this weekend. Are you you can tell me which one you prefer. Go to the match live, okay? Watch it from home, or go to a sports bar and watch it with other people. Which one would you prefer?
It would vary by sport, right? The only one that I would say go to a bar with, and that's because of my upbringing from Kansas, would go see the Jayhawks play some basketball. So I kind of in basketball, it's a little shorter, right? A football game, I just want to be at home on the couch and see all the replays. So
Okay. And last question in that same vein, buffalo wings. All right. So when you order buffalo wings, what's the level of spice or sauce that you order? Do you get ranch or blue cheese? And are you a veggie guy?
um, hot, not like crazy hot where all these shows and people are crying, but if you have, mild, medium hot, I'll go hot, blue cheese, and yeah, I'll snap some celery sticks now and again.
Yeah, I'm. If I'm gonna do buffalo, I like them hot, but not crazy hot like you. I don't do dips, and I love carrots. But if I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop, I like the dry spices. So I like them
Oh,
a little crispy, and I like them with salt and vinegar or lemon pepper. But I'm not a dips guy. So there you go. 5 questions that got nothing to do with trade.
all right. And again, I said mine's very similar, and it was just great minds think alike because whenever you sent yours over, I'm like, mine's very similar. So we're doing a then versus now preference, right? As
Okay.
far as like old school, new school, which one's better. So I'm just going to crank through a couple of them here. And because I heard a song this morning, Pete, and I swear to gosh, I turned it up. So are you Celine Dion, which is a song I turned up and was rocking to, Celine Dion or Adele?
Celine Dion.
Oh, I like it.
Celine Dion.
Madonna.
In
What's
a big
that?
way. In a big way, Celine Dion. Yeah. Next.
Yep. Madonna or Lady Gaga?
Oh, Madonna or Lady Gaga. I'm going to say Madonna. I saw her live. I was shocked that I knew every song. Yeah, I'm going to go because I'm nostalgic like that. I'm going to go Madonna.
Yeah, I think Madonna too, the original. All right. So Jack versus Leo. So I'm talking about Jack Nicholson and Leo DiCaprio.
This isn't even a question. Respectfully, Doug, this isn't even a question. You're talking about one of the greatest actors in some of my favorite movies, Jack Nicholson. Are you on the Devil's Cabbage right now? That's not even a question. Leo DiCaprio is a pretty boy who had one good movie. No. It's Jack. It's all Jack all day.
Okay. Well, I'm Leo because I love his performance in Wolf of Wall Street. Love it. Love it.
Nope.
But yeah,
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Shining, Witches of Eastwick. I mean, I can keep going. In Batman as the Joker, he was fantastic.
that's true.
No.
Yeah,
Leo can pound sand. Leo can go kick rocks, that skinny nerd. Nope, it's Jack. Jack.
All right, this is the one you hear all the time: Jordan versus or LeBron.
Oh, Jordan. No question. No
Yeah.
question. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's the greatest ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to replace the NBA logo with him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Two more quick ones: Eddie Murphy or Kevin Hart.
Oh, Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy made me want to be a comedian. Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Kevin Hart's great, but Eddie Murphy was just a much better comedian, both artistically and I'm going to go also with what he's been able to do with his movie career. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Delirious when he was in that. Was it a blue suit or a yellow or a red suit? I can't remember.
Red was Delirious, and the purple one was Raw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, loved it. All right, here's the last one: the James Bond franchise or the Mission Impossible franchise.
James Bond. James Bond. Are you more a Mission Impossible guy?
Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Yeah, I'm more Mission Impossible. Bond rolls out with a pen that squirts ink, and Tom Cruise rolls out and does some crazy, crazy shit. So I think I'm an MI fan.
Yeah, much respect to Tom Cruise for doing all those stunts himself and wrecking his body. Absolutely. But, I wanted to walk out of the last Mission Impossible movie, and I don't walk out of many movies. So didn't do it for me, but the early MI movies were fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah. I
And
kind of agree with that.
my favorite Bond, without question, is Sean Connery.
Yeah, I think so.
Roger Moore,
I don't know.
Timothy
I can see
Dalton.
pros and cons with all of them. I was about to say Roger Moore, then I was about to say Daniel Craig, but
That was good.
yeah. So, all right. Well, that's halftime. Brought to us by Cap Logistics. We appreciate them. Check them out at caplogistics.com. So,
All right, Doug, what's
all
your
right.
next one, buddy? Or no,
My next one.
you next.
No, I'll go because I'll wrap it up. Mine's pretty short and sweet. I've just seen all of these companies talking about uh, foreign investment into the United States. Right, that's one thing that the tariffs were trying to encourage is foreign investment. Bring some money to the United States and help us help you avoid some of these tariffs. And we're starting to see it, right? Volkswagen, I think most recently talked about making significant investments into the U.S. Um, Roche with pharmaceuticals said they'd have a $50 billion investment. TSMC, obviously, semiconductors, they've made a commitment. But here's the thing, Pete. I'm hearing terms like commitment, pledge, um, nothing that's been written down or an agreement that you can hold up and say, this is a done deal. So I started thinking, like, maybe this is just a workaround or appeasement to the U.S. government to say, hey, give us a little break on these tariffs. In exchange for that, we will make a commitment or we will pledge, which isn't really tangible or binding by any stretch of the mean. So it's coming around a lot. I'm sure there'll be regulatory discussions, and market conditions could change. So I'm just want to get your take on it, right? Lots of verbal commitments, lots of promises, but what's out there that's tangible that is going to have teeth behind it? I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing great headlines. I'm just like, great, Pete, I'm going to pledge to you that I'm going to give you $10 million over the course of my career, but I'm not going to really put it in writing quite yet. So I don't know. What's your take on all that?
Very similar to yours, Doug. I think that we're dealing right now in a world where our economy can really spank you if you don't play ball. And to get these commitments is wonderful, but we need to see some groundbreakings. We need to see some new industry starting here. You have companies like Apple, that made a relatively small commitment in the long term, but a huge commitment in the short term to the United States, and talking about changing their very core of manufacturing. And the Nippon Steel deal, HK and Hyundai with building ships, these are all massive. And the question really is, we have 3 years and 5 months left of this particular president. When this executive is gone, will the next one be as forceful as the one we have now, or will these businesses in these countries simply renegotiate based on a new relationship? I don't know, Doug. So until there's diggers and backhoes ripping stuff up, and until I see something with signatures on it and some kind of a financial commitment, or if they don't do it, they're writing checks. I'm not so sure this is going to happen, Doug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Well,
all right, bring us home, my friend.
I'll bring us home, and then you can close out the show. So, lots of alarming statistics to go along with your first topic, Doug, about the global economy. 80% of mail volume internationally is down to the United States. That has a lot to do with e-com. A number of countries have announced that their exports overall, just not to the United States, have taken a real hit. One of the ones was Germany, which came as a bit of a surprise. Great Britain was on that list, France, India. So we're seeing all these great headlines, energy prices as an example, energy exploration, and people are pointing to this as being some harbinger of doom. That everything's gone to hell, and that the American importer is not going to import as much and buy as much, and global consumption is down. I think that it's a knee-jerk reaction. I think that we're probably looking at it far too myopic. Yes, America's economy is massive, but we're part of a much larger ecosystem. I don't know, Doug. I'm not buying that everything has gone to hell yet. I think that we'll find out more through the course of the following year in 2026. But Doug, do you think that the world's economy is slowing down? Or, and then a follow-up to that, do you think that Americans are going to start buying less stuff?
I think that both of those may be bumps in the road, but and they would probably merit some monitoring, for lack of a better term, right? But I think it's still too early. Even though we've been talking about this for months and months and months, I still think it's kind of too early to say, is this just a bump? Or are we looking at like a detour here and it's going to dramatically change? I'm trying to think of a good analogy for cars. But bump in the road or a big detour, I think it's too early to tell. I don't think the panic is kicked in on any level across the globe. Now, obviously, you're more well versed than I am, and I can't tell you the specifics of what's going on in every single country across the world. But I don't see a panic quite yet, right? I truly believe fourth quarter and the holiday season will tell us a lot, and it will shake out a lot. Do people still want to buy a bunch of plastic crap that they don't need? And I think retailers and companies do not want to have anything to do with product that they push out on the shelves to any level to bring that back in. They want to sell it. They want to get the money out of their inventory and on their books. And so I think a bellwether is going to be what happens in Q4 with the American purchasing power or purchasing spirit. But to answer your question, I'm not seeing it. It's a bump in the road, but it's worth monitoring.
Doug, I love it when you agree with me because that gets to mean that both of us are right and not just me. So yeah, I agree with you. I think, time will tell. It's far too early to pull the sheet over the eyes of the corpse of the global economy. We have time, and we need to give it time for us to see exactly how this turns out.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, bring us home.
Yeah, that's it. That is another edition of Global Trade this week. You guys, for our listeners, we are committed, right? Pete is in another country. He's 7 hours ahead of where I am. We make it happen. When I'm in California, sometime I'm jumping on at 6 a.m. So if it's happening in global trade, we're talking about it. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter what time it is. And we can't thank you enough for listening and engaging with the show. With that being said, Pete, I know you got to take a shower and go hit some drinks with your compadres. So we will let you go. Pete, travel safe.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you next week. Thanks, Ed.
All right. Catch you later.